If you're talking about Texas, you might find yourself referring to the city of Houston. But if you're in downtown New York City, you ain't talking about the street called Houston. It's pronounced Houston. Everybody knows that. Then again, people that I see every day, many of them weren't born here. I wonder how many of them would know the pronunciation for the name of the street if I didn't tell them what it was. Hell, a good friend of mine is a native of Toad Hill, the highest natural point in all of the boroughs, and she didn't even know for over 2 decades. But she's not one of those people who thinks that Staten Island should be annexed by New Jersey. As for me, my past is, by choice, shrouded in mystery. But I call Soho home. That, by the way, is a nickname for the streets that are south of Houston. This is where I work, a pretty European-style cafe. You learn so much about society just from who walks in the store.
I stole a nun's veil, Cheska. I mean, they all wear it, and I was bored, so I stole one. And I came back to my room, tried it on, and I gotta say, this thing is comfortable. And I look good. I mean, it's like a goddamn spotlight for my cheekbones. At first, I hated the quiet, but it's growing on me. I mean, I can actually hear my thoughts, and the more I think about it, the more I know Daddy is wrong. He thinks just because I look the way I look that I can't be anything else, that I should close my mouth and wait for a husband. I'm going to tell you something. I have been with a lot of boys, and so far none of them want me to close my mouth. I've been watching these nuns very closely, especially the young ones, and most of them look calm. And they smile a lot. And their husband is God. There's something to that, Cheska. There's something to finding a way to be allowed to be all the things. What I need is a relationship with a man that allows me to be gorgeous and smart and fun and a terrific dancer.
It turned out she was in a trance until one day she woke up and met a man who called himself a teacher, though he refused to teach, and did teach, though he didn't mean to. And she thought of him nightly and pictured him naked, and so did he her. He was a firebrand who, like all the Scriveners of his generation, believed in silence, cunning exile. But in him, it was starting to turn to sadness, curdling exhaustion. They had come to live, or in his case, spend several hours a week, in a place that had fallen out of the precincts of history, and prided itself on that. But she believed, tacitly, that they might re-enter with a kiss that would smash up everything. And she waited. Because though she did not scruple against making this move herself, she knew that it would change nothing until it came from him. Once upon a time, a woman exchanged her dignity for promises of material comfort. He was married, but that didn't matter to either of them. They share an ideology, a great belief in the fruitlessness of life, the impermanence of everything. She falls back one day, hitting her head on his headboard, and she teleports away to another dimension. Her entire life shuffles before her like a deck of cards. Now she's woken up. She knows that her eyes are open, but darkness is all that she can see. But after a few moments that feel like eternity, the world materializes again. She pinpoints that she's gone somewhere into the future. I'm going to have your child, she says. He offers to pay for a termination. Her jaw hits the floor. That was his first reaction to this news. I can't force you to do it, he tells her. But if you can keep this under wraps, I'll make it worth your while at this company. She has little in the way of family and certainly not enough money. The offer is too good to refuse. As the months tick by, however, as often occurs, she finds herself feeling something that resembles serenity. When was the last time she had felt something like that? Inner peace is a real thing? So she considers backing down, but at the same time, she's going to do what she has to do. For herself and this child. Her own happiness was irrelevant. Fittingly, the birth is very difficult, yet she suspects that its aftermath will be even worse. Through tears, she finally hears a child crying. Through tears, she is able to hold him just long enough for a camera flash to go off. Through tears, she says goodbye to her son. The nurses go to take him to his adoptive family. She's held up her end of the bargain, and she lasts in her new position for just over a year, then she quits. She runs away from that town with her blood money. If there was a second chance to be found, it was living in a faraway city.